at that stage, I had a blog, and we had sort of 300 or 400 people following it every night. And I had a really bad hairstyle. And I was like, oh, shave it. That's a bit boring. And I wanted to be famous after a fashion, and I wanted to be. That should have been put on silent ages ago.
Don't worry about it. Actually, I'll do mine as well. Look at this. Look at Thai tech. Look at that goes on. Oh no, I've already done it.
Oh, there we go. You're better than I am. Much better than I am.
Thought.
And yeah, it was a case of how do I make myself recognizable? I at that stage, I'd realized that videos were the thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, screw it. I want to be more recognizable, but I also never want a real job. And back in in 2008 thereabouts, if you had head tattoos, you're not getting a job anywhere
No
else.
way.
Burn it. Yay! Not a chance nowadays. Yeah,
Where's your
you
tap,
can do
mate?
what you want. Yeah, exactly.
Square.
And I thought, well, screw it. This will force me to make this work.
Yeah.
And it did.
Well.
So.
And now the thing is it correct? This is what my mate Stewie said.
Okay.
He said, Crimson, you made a couple of guitars for Robert Fripp.
Uh-huh.
So is the King Crimson connection where the Crimson comes from?
Yes and no.
Oh.
So my first company was called Scorpion Guitars.
Okay.
So there's a scorpion there.
That's that, yeah.
And that was my first tattoo. Anyway, and that just didn't work. It was in partnership with a dude who shouldn't really have been building anything. And lessons were learned. No, you're coming on a course. Lessons were learned, but I was sitting there brainstorming, trying to figure out names, and I had a list of about 50 names in her lounge, actually. And I was watching Kerrang or MTV or one of those things. Yeah. And King Crimson came up. I was like, King Crimson. That's powerful. It's red. You've got branding opportunities there just because it's a color. Crimson Guitars.
So you were on your own in 2008.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. So that was it.
But you've been Luthering for a while before then, presumably. You had the tools of the trade. So
yes. So I did an early string musical instrument building course at West Eam College, which I I always wanted to build electric guitars.
Yeah.
But I happened to live 7 miles away from the best early stringed instrument building college in the world. It was go. That's cool. We're busy. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, he's got Red Bull. He's going to keep awake.
I basically managed to get grants and things, but it's a 20 or 30 grand a year course sort of thing. It's massive. 2 new students a year accepted. Tiny. And I conned my way onto it.
Oh, well done.
So that was 99, 2000, I think. Or maybe 2000, 2001.
Doesn't look old enough, does he? Really doesn't.
Tattoos help. Playing guitar helps.
Do you think so?
Seriously, I find that either a guitarist just completely lets himself go and you've got all the drugs and all that jazz. And you're
been there.
aged before your time. But most musicians I know, they tend to look younger than they actually are. So
oh God, that means that I'm clearly not.
I mean, you're a cool happening dude. It's
Hardly. No. I think that's very, very flattering, but not true.
So yeah, that was it. Basically, I'd done 4 or 5 years making guitars for myself, and then selling a few. My training was violins and viola da gambas and baroque instruments.
Have you made any since?
No.
That's it. Straight to
the electric guitars are the thing. I've done a couple of jazzes. I've done some steel strings. And then with the YouTube, I'm going to go now. In fact, by this time this year, COVID notwithstanding, I was supposed to have built myself a nice arch-top jazz guitar.
Oh, bloody hell, fire.
And that was the plan, but everything's gone. I've ended up having to do a bunch of kit. Well, I did a kit build because I had no workshop because I was working from home and still am. And then we had this kit challenge that developed that was obviously.
Oh, what this? So that was the father concept before the birth of Great Guitar.
Well, yeah, essentially, my plan was I was going to do a kit build and then a full build from scratch, then a kit build and a full build from scratch, and that gives the editors time to edit the full builds, which are much more difficult to edit. And a kit build I can do normally, if I don't go crazy, I can tend to do a bit faster. But I've done 3 kit builds in a row now because the Great Guitar Build-Off happened and we hadn't really planned it.
Yeah.
And then it's just...
Well, for something not very well planned, it seemed to have gone reasonably. I do apologise for the fact that it was it's an auction, because I think the original idea of a raffle is more sort of it's almost more democratic.
More democratic. That's exactly it.
I get that, and it's a bit like. Do you remember Radio 2 used to do those things? Wogan used to do them. Things money can't buy. And actually, it was the exact opposite. It was exactly things that few people with tons of money could throw 10 grand at something. Yeah. Me and you, maybe. No, I'd like to donate 5 to charity and put me in a raffle, and then we've all got to shout at it, and you probably raise more.
I absolutely would have convinced.
I'm convinced we would have. I feel for this.
It got to a point where we had a number of very concerned fans get in touch and say, I work in this industry in America, I'm in Australia, etc. And if you do this, and if somebody decides to, put their shoe in, you're going to be screwed. Yeah. Now we're in the process of getting essentially it's a gambling license in the UK, and we're looking into doing it in the States, but we think that we're going to have to get it in every single bloody state. Yeah.
Oh, all 50.
Yeah. It's insane. And then let's go outside. We can drink our coffee outside. And because we can take our masks off out there, can't we?
Oh, fire. Be careful.
So, yeah.
I'll go first then. Oh, it's a gorgeous day, I have to say.
It is rather nice.
That's an amazing story, though. So, but you're not native British, is that right?
No, I'm a colonial mongrel. So I'm Canadian by blood. But my father had sort of done a tour to get away from his mother, I think, and he ended up in Zimbabwe, down southern Africa. Yeah. So I grew up in Zimbabwe, then lived in South Africa, studying music, and I ended up here. My grandparents are British. Yeah. On the other side, and that was it. I sort of ended up.
Which is where this hybrid accent comes from. The slightly.
I anglicised myself. With it, I decided to sort of try and naturalise myself.
No, it comes across because what happens is that I'm sure there's a bunch of people possibly across the pond who go like, not quite working out this English dude with the.
That's the thing.
Who looks like a biker.
Yeah, your voice. No, I'm not allowed bikes. Motorbikes and chainsaws are the 2 things my wife is forever forbidden.
Love a chainsaw.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it basically.
That was nice. I enjoyed that.
I like a dichotomy.
Well, it is. Well, there is definitely there's a what do they call another word is like cognitive dissonance.
Absolutely, that's the one.
All right, yeah, you can take that, mate, and crush it.
We should move.
But this spot here, I mean, it's just brilliant.
Bollocks.
Absolutely brilliant. Here you are in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's the thing. So, what we'll do is we'll give you the tour.
Perfect.
We're just in the process of learning how to put masks on. We're just in the process of doing the front up again, and we're gonna have planters and beautiful things and all of that here, and just make it nicer. But when I moved in, it was this building.
Yeah.
So when we first moved here, that wall here, that was the end of the workshop. This was my studio. I had my bench was there. There wasn't a door there. We've knocked that through since. And I had, in the end, 5 or 6 guitar builders in here, as well as the school. When we started the school, we had 2 or 3 people.
So the school was quite an early innovation then.
I had the school from home. I had 2 or 3 students at home, where I probably shouldn't have. So, yeah, I think I'm past the statute of limitations on that one.
Quite likely.
But it's always been teaching and sharing the craft. People ask me why. How do they say it? You're training up your competition.
Now, why are you training at the competition, Ben?
I'm not. nobody's ever going to be as good as I am. No, for me, it's not about competition. There's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people wanting guitars. Yeah. Even here, we can only make. I mean, if we pushed, we could maybe make 10,000 a year.
10,000 guitars?
I don't think so. Nowhere near. Not right now.
I was going to ask about how many you can churn out.
We could, if with current staff and current technologies and things on order, we could probably make between 200 and 300 a month. Sorry, maybe. If we're really, 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 really pushing it out. We make a lot of kit guitars, and it's the exact same processes, so CNCs and then hand sanding and all that jazz. The amount of people that ask us for jobs here, we could get another 10 people working, social distancing measures, etc.
But there's a pool of talent locally who can come in and do the skills?
There are some people, we're not too far from a shipbuilding centre and all that jazz. So if we needed to expand, we really could. A lot of the scut work is the pickup routing and all that jazz. That can be done in the CNCs, the neck carving.
Saw that one.
Bob is...
Saw that one on...
Bob is the sort of genesis of yours.
Yeah, well, exactly. The thing is... oh, gosh, that is light.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you buy a guitar, I think you want a whole guitar, don't you? Rather than half of one. That's one of the things I think you've made disappointed about this one.
Grave error.
Yeah, but I saw this one. It's like, because there's loads of channels, as you know, and you just happen upon things every now and then. But this one, yes, I remember seeing this, and I just thought, because what you've got here is you may have your CNCs and all these sort of things, but you can't make this without hands, without human being.
You've got hours and hours of my life, and not to mention. That is the most stressed I've ever been with a guitar build. I chose the wrong wood to start with, and this is a very splitty wood. We just didn't have a piece of sycamore big enough to do it in one piece, and I should have stopped.
Well, look at that. See, I mean, this concave. It's like a Romulan spaceship.
It really is.
See, look at it like that.
See?
There we go.
He gets it,
and it's cloaked.
Hold on, we haven't even introduced you. Hi.
You need a cutaway.
Yeah, Dave, you are the great guitar build off guitar. You won the auction to buy the guitar that I built for charity. So basically, you've donated £3,200 to charity, which is phenomenal, and we really, really appreciate it. So
I'm lucky enough to be in a position to have been able to do it. Many others would have given more or gave less. And it was probably more for them to do. So I'm very fortunate that I could give that.
No, and we really do appreciate it. Next time it'll be an auction.
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea. No, raffle.
Raffle, sorry. It was... my brain is fried. But anyway, let's get back to it. So this is who you are. This is why you're here. And we're going to give you a tour of the factory and then go and introduce you to your guitar. And
Perfect. That's so light.
Well, that's the thing, and it's a lot more solid. You saw the video and you saw how flexible and how little there was there. But once it's clamped and glued together, it really is. It's a guitar, and you can go and gig this, and it's absolutely fine.
Although you probably wince.
Do you know what? I love this guitar, and it's one of the ones that comes home with me every now and then.
For a little play.
Yeah.
So but simple one pickup.
So from that, okay. Now this is one that I did build, completely expecting to love it and have it for myself and my own and love it.
Ooh, that's a bit heavier. Wow.
It is substantial.
Oh, bloody hell, fire.
So no, I don't play that very much because it's just
again the beautiful concave shape. God, it's just
I've got
no idea what the woods are. What is it?
Holm oak.
Holm oak?
Holm oak. HOLM.
Yeah. Like Quercus homus or whatever it is. Yeah, sort of.
You know more than I do.
Well, all oaks are Quercus, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah, Quercus is the species, and the family name. But I didn't realise it was all like this inside.
Yes, essentially that's very, very soft grain, and that's very hard grain, and it's not normally like this.
Wow.
But
and this?
Yeah. Actually, I should take that out. I do like that guitar. Sorry, that's Ziricote.
Well, I don't know that.
Ziricota is just delicious. It's another one of those sort of West African exotics.
Bloody hell, it's just
It's
gorgeous.
a tank, isn't it?
It's like melting caramel.
Okay, so yeah, when we started, this was it, basically, up to this wall, and that was the workshop pretty much. When the landlord, when we were sort of looking at the place, the landlord said, "So, what do you think?" And I was like, "Well, bear in mind, it's just me." I said, "In 5 years, I'm going to want the whole building. Is there room to expand back? Because I'm going to have 30 staff, and this giant company." He's like,
I'm on a mission.
"Okay, fine. Yeah, you can expand a little bit. There's just barn behind you, and that's fine." So we did. I didn't quite reach 30 staff because I realised I didn't need that many people.
The thing is that you set a plan, and the people who write a plan apparently generally make it.
But, I never wrote it down, but I always had world domination. But yeah, look, this is the packing and shipping department.
Sorry, excuse me.
So basically, we have
your staining bottles.
Yep. Seriously, our stunning stains are our biggest selling line. It's crazy. We seem to have run out of masks. I'm not sure why.
So I didn't realise until I watched some of the more recent videos that you've got like a stock of stuff that you also sell, things that for people to do it themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the essentially we've got 3 businesses. We've got building guitars. Yeah. 4 businesses. Building guitars. We've got YouTube and marketing. You're a marketing man. And then we've got the kit guitars and the tools and all of that. We've got a huge range of tools. Some are manufactured for us and then partially finished here. These are nostrated, just so we level them here absolutely perfectly. We've got a new laser cutter coming.
They carry your brand, so they have to be
absolutely perfect.
Spot on. Everything you do is.
Yeah. A lot of this is just made in-house. We made those here. And then some things like files we'll buy a good quality. This is a Shinto Soros from Japan. No, it's not. This is an Iwasaki file from Japan, sorry. And we make the handles. And it's all about, the best quality you can get.
Well, that's the sort of that's probably like that. It's the samurai sword of files. Folded a million times and over a spiritual flame.
That's guitar building for you.
Well, you like fire, so that should appeal to you.
I really do like fire. It's a bit of a problem. Wood store number 1.
Oh, nice and warm.
Yeah, this is
equi temperature.
This is the room you go when you want to go into a room and just turn the light off and just exist for a bit.
Just smell it.
It smells great. Now this is normally the room for our students. So they come through and they'll choose fretboards and woods, etc.
So is that how it works on the courses? You say you can have a rosewood fretboard or a in the moment now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Ben. I can smell that.
It's just a lovely room. It really is. So yeah, the students before they come on the course will say, "Look, I want to build X, Y, Z. Yeah. Is it conceivable if I'm here for a 5-day course? Can I build a calf top PRS clone or whatever?" No. No. But come on a 2-week course and you can for sure.
Wow.
And then we'll either source wood for the students from our various stores, and you'll see a bigger timber store out there, or they can bring their own timber. And we make it as easy as humanly possible, basically.
And it's from, obviously, from sustainable sources, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. All over the place. A lot of the sycamore stuff is local. The ash is local. We get most of our fretboards from a Spanish company who supplied most of the globe with guitar woods, and it's all CITES and all that jazz.
Oh right! So he does everywhere.
Oh yeah. No, a lot of people. So you were talking about Ziricote. We've processed it down. They come with trackable numbers on them, but that's the same fretboard that was on that guitar that you liked.
Bloody hell,
isn't it gorgeous wood?
I mean, many years ago when I was a kid, 17, unemployed, I got a job temporarily in a lumberyard in Birkenhead.
All right.
And yeah, they had the most exotic ones there was piranha, and this thing came through with shot with colours and everything. It was gorgeous wood. Anyway, but most of that was just tongue and groove pine. Nothing like this array of exotics, except for the sycamore, which is local.
Yep, sycamore, flame sycamore. To be fair, when you're editing this, remind me that I need to find some piranha wood.
Well, it was a long time ago. I may have misremembered
They've probably changed
the word,
the
but
name.
yeah. But piranha, that's what it's called. I don't know how hard it is. I don't know whether it's strong enough. It did seem it was a foreign. It was a tropical wood, so I guess it was a hard.
Yeah,
one.
you can make all sorts, various mahoganies, sycamores, and basically everything is dried.
Iroko, yes, I recognise that.
Where's our? We've got a fantastic machine from Wagner, Wagner moisture meter, where you can go. Essentially it hooks up to an app on your phone, and it measures the moisture in the wood, and then you can say, look, this is this piece of wood, and it remembers it over months, and it tells you how it is. It measures the room, it measures temperatures and humidities, and it's just magic. Basically.
Is warping a problem ever?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It is.
That's why it's all stickered. All of this jazz. You need to get airflow around. We've got the fans going, and you've got to be very careful. It's a dark art, to be honest. Most of this is already done. We get it dry already, but we need to keep it dry and take it, a few more % down. But anyway, let's move on. So we're putting a new floor down here. It's in progress. This used to be a machine room, but we are putting my new laser cutter. Finally. We're going to be doing custom templates, custom scratch plates, pickup surrounds, and just all sorts of cool stuff with that. And that's coming in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, 3 or 4.
And then a pickup
Big
winder
news,
as well.
breaking news.
I've been after one for years and years and years, and we finally got, through the YouTube channel, we got a discount for one. Not huge, but
needs must.
Every bit helps. But we're going to be able to do so much cool stuff. Anyway, let's move on. So obviously we're doing social distancing. Benches are all distant, and we're lucky we've got enough space now to spread out. So the tool makers are
so much bits, but beautifully organised. I love it. Now you will need to. My kids should come. They're lads now.
Yeah.
And what they should do is learn tools have a place. When you take one off, you put it sodding back. Because a tool in the wrong place is basically the same as a lost tool.
It really is. The amount of time you spend hunting things that you just put down, it's a problem.
I get you.
But yeah, so the tool makers live on this side. This is the lapping block. So all of these things, somebody sits here with the paper and makes them perfectly flat. They're checked on here against the light.
Wow.
Feeler gauges, etc. on this section, and absolute perfection. This is flat to within 0.002 millimeters across a meter, I think. It's just perfectly flat.
So your aim is for your necks to be dead flat?
To start in the process, and then you put in a little bit of relief. Yeah.
The truss rod.
Yeah, even the tension of the strings will
do
the relief that we need. But then again, we'll look at your guitar later and maybe adjust the setup depending on how you play.
Badly is the answer.
Me too.
Poorly and basically.
Well, that's why I'm a guitar builder, because I can't really play. We make dead blow hammers. So these will be drilled down the center with lead shot in them.
Yeah.
Because as you hit a fret, the lead shot jumps and stops, and that stops the hammer bouncing back off.
Yeah.
So these.
And if it does bounce off, what's the problem? Sorry, forgive me.
No, it's fine. It basically means it's less precise.
Huh?
More of the impact goes into the fret, and you're not bouncing off and jiggering off and potentially damaging the fretboard.
So the lead shot is a dampener. It's a physical.
Oh, it does. There you go.
Music.
Yeah.
You can tune them for different areas.
You could. So that's all in progress, and we make these from scratch.
I didn't know that. So God, do you lathe these here?
Yeah, all made in house.
God, daunting amount of kit. You see, a lot of people think it's just a block of wood, with a stick stuck on, some tension strings, and that's it.
Yeah, and they think you can put it in a machine and get it out finished at the end.
No.
Yeah, CNCs do part of the work.
Yeah.
But nowhere near. So these are various instruments in progress. that is going to be so gorgeous.
It's just
Live edge resin.
resin. Oh, this is very on trend.
Very on trend, yeah.
That's going to be lovely the way that comes up here.
is.
Oh yes.
And we do things like
You're
this.
going to maintain
order.
these stainy.
Yeah.
Stop. No more. Bloody hell.
No top carving. But yeah, so this is bits and pieces in progress. Here's our spray booth. So we can see
This
see
is
what's
an
going on
extension
here.
on the extension.
Well, that's the thing. So we extended to that room initially,
Yeah.
and we had this as our machine room.
Yeah.
But we hadn't taken that part of the building on that side and the back. And then about a year and a half after we extended, we had to extend again, and now we've got basically the whole building.
Look at that. A bit of graffiti on the wall. That's what we like to see.
Constantly.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Did you do all of these? You can do all these stages, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that's not an insulting
No,
question.
no, it's not. I had a spray booth at home. Nearly killed me many times.
Because spraying, I think, is a particular skill there. you
Yeah,
know, to get it.
it's a dark art, and
Mine tends to end up being, I like to call it precipitation raindrop effect
Yes,
at the end. I say it's deliberate, but of course it's...
I've done exactly the same.
Yeah, just terrible.
Just putting too much on, but
Yeah, because
honestly,
you're keen to get it done.
yeah, a lot of the thing, and it sort of sounds elitist, but if you have a cheap spray booth, or not spray booth, I mean, yeah, it's a giant fact. The spray booth itself only costs us, I think it was £2,000, which for something that's relatively inexpensive. If you've got the choice of buying a 50 quid spray gun from Silverline or a 150 quid spray gun from DeVilbiss, invest in the DeVilbiss and you will get a better job. Period.
I've been told, pay more, buy once.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely. I think the other one I've heard is buy cheap, and if you break it, then you use it enough to buy a good one. And then you've got some cheap tools that you never use. But no, I just buy the best you possibly can.
Is this the bench you stand at?
This isn't me at all. No, this is Sam's. You'll meet Sam
Just
later.
looking for the altar, you know, the place where
there is no
I am not worthy. But I've seen another one of your Japanese samurai.
Shintosaurus.
Yeah, yeah, that was the one. And I saw you just shaping a neck by hand, and I thought, well, that's easy.
Yep. And then you tried to do it?
That's no, get lost, no chance, no, because clearly there's a Latin expression which I'll bore you with.
Okay.
It's called summa ars caelare artem.
Okay.
I learned it when I was at school, and it means the greatest art conceals art.
Yes. I absolutely
So you
agree.
go like, oh, that looks easy.
Yeah. A lot of what I do is trying to... I've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guitars, and I'm by no means as good as I think I am, or at least as I thought I would be. I'm constantly learning, but when people watch the videos...
There's ears here. They're now going to realise you're human, mortal, and a little bit shit.
Well, I mean, you're talking to a man who managed to drill a hole straight through a guitar from one side to the other without more, you know... You'll never live it down. I mean, ever.
What, this young man here?
Yeah, he was drilling
let's hear about the disaster then. Yeah.
Drilling from here into a neck pocket.
Yeah.
It's like, this seems to be going straight out the back. What I haven't told you, though, is that I've done the exact same thing, only I couldn't even drill it straight. I went at an angle out the back.
It was a really straight hole. It
was
perfect. It was
true.
Not that long. It was
It could have been another, strap button could have been put there just as a bit of an anomaly or a folly.
Yeah.
So this is one of like the sort of styly things.
Yes. So no, this is our new-ish Scion model, basically.
Ooh.
So
Psion.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Looks nice.
Well, we're very, very, very happy with him. Nothing's going to fall off, is it? So, yeah, work in progress. But we are finally at the stage with our production to be able to build the quality that I thought I was at 20 years ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're really, really, really happy with what we can do now. It honestly competes with anybody else in the business.
Oh.
And that's the next thing. We this year was going to be the year that we get into sort of dozens of shops and
You've been COVIDed
properly
out.
start doing this. And it's not going to happen for a couple of years now because all the shops are struggling. But we're lucky we've got 3 or 4 businesses.
So that's what you're trying to do into retail.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of retailers who stock us,
Yeah.
and they do very, very well. The YouTube channel, the fans, that helps. But we wanted to do NAM and really take the world on, and sort of take UK manufacturing out and actually do 2,000 or 3,000 a month. You can do that, can't you?
Yeah,
Chris,
easily.
Okay, good. There we go.
Love the mother of pearl. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Really nice.
So that's not going to happen, but everything else
It will happen.
It'll happen eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the advantages of the online world is that you can talk to people despite the fact there's no travel.
Yeah, but the shops themselves are all struggling, and they're not going to be placing an order on a relatively unknown.
No.
You don't buy 10 guitars that you haven't touched and felt and experienced on spec, especially not in a global sort of recession, which we're basically going to be in. And it's fine. It's
Well, it's going to take a while for you to get, even now after years, to get some traction on the whole sort of recognition, the name, the association with the quality, because there are lots of independent makers around.
Yes.
And
the nice thing is I trained half of them.
Sorry. Oh, maybe.
So
Yeah. Well, they are.
arrogant.
Oh, that's back to the question before. Why did you train your competition? Why didn't you show them how to do the whole right the way through, and then they could have
Yeah. This is what you do. Teach. I'm
teach
teaching
the
the bad
mistake?
methods.
Yeah. When the neck's a little bit wrong, just put a shim in there. Nobody will notice.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you can do.
I really don't tempt me. Use polyurethane glue. Use it all the time. Don't use polyurethane.
Glue,
Just don't. It's okay
What
for
is
some things.
what is the glue you use in the neck?
So essentially, it's basically a type of Type 1. Type 150 if you're in the States, or alkaline glue, which is a licensed version of Type 150, basically. So it's just normal wood glue.
Really?
I mean, your neck has got a very, very, very small gluing surface, and it's perfectly solid.
Oh.
Anyway,
Did you use bolts in the old screws in the end?
No.
You didn't. It's just it's a glued-in neck now
It's a
because you were
glued-in neck.
debating it.
Yeah,
And I
I
didn't see the
wasn't
back of
sure. It was on the edge.
Oh.
So this is another one, just having a bit of a touch-up.
See, that's lovely.
So
That's nice.
actually, the green one and this one were a couple of the first prototypes from about 1.5 years ago, and we're just touching them up to bring them up to spec, basically.
Very nice again.
So this room is brand new. This is going to be a buffing room and finishing room for all of this. So buffing wheels and dust extraction and all that.
I'm expecting all this woodwork to be nicely done because
It's still a factory. Ooh. Oh. Okay. I didn't know I had that in the building. And here's
I'm not asking.
Here is the timber store.
Ah. Oh, bloody
So
hell, fire.
this is the main timber store where we have. Lots of ash, lots of wenge and flame maple and sycamore and. I mean, ebony
Just
fretboards. I've
everything.
got about 400.
Just
You've got to have years and years worth of
I've never
wood.
seen anything like this before. I've never been in a place like this.
Seriously?
before. Yeah, no, this isn't. No. I'm a distanced person. That's
Welcome
all.
to the chaos.
The nearest I've got, my mate Stu built a guitar out of bits and he gave it to me. But, and it's great. It's great, but, it's not the same as going to and seeing this kind of a thing. Bloody hell.
Well,
I say the more I know, the less I realise. The more I know, the more I realise. God, no chance.
we have students who have never used a machine, period, ever,
Really?
who make a guitar and finish it.
Well, I've got school day woodwork lessons. That's given me a head start,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
5% more ahead than they are.
Look at that.
Seriously.
And I can use a chainsaw. That's got to be.
I'm not allowed to use chainsaws. My wife said never, ever.
But it's just the way that you wood never behaves for me.
It's
It really doesn't behave. I can never. I drill a hole and it's always slightly wrong, at a wrong angle, or
but you probably don't have the right drill bit.
probably.
I
I heard you talk about Sharpie. Sharp.
Yeah, it's all about the right tools, the sharpest tools. Drill bits are one of those things. I mean, we were talking about buy the best you possibly can.
Yeah.
I will happily go and spend 150, 200, 300 quid for a set of drill bits.
Really?
Because they will last me much longer, but they will do the job absolutely perfectly every single time. And the amount of mistakes I made building guitars by using cheap drill bits because I couldn't afford them, and then you lose hours and hours and hours, and you should have just gone and bought the drill bits.
There's a lesson. That's a lesson for everybody.
It really, seriously, I've made dozens of mistakes through using cheap drill bits and router bits.
So I just got distracted by that.
Yeah. Well, so this is. Whoops. I'm not sure what she's doing there, actually.
That is. You see, that's a signature, isn't it?
Yeah. So I built one of these as a whim. We had a nice piece of yew that nobody could use. And I wasn't even filming it for YouTube. I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
And then I called the camera and said, hey, look, you might as well film this. This is going to be quite cool.
Look at that. This is copper.
Copper leaf, yeah. And I did it, and the video had hundreds of thousands of views, and we've sold dozens of them now. And yeah, nobody else is making anything like that.
That's really nice.
If you
follow that
through
way
here, yeah. Oh, here's. So these are necks off the CNC.
So when you send a kit out, is the neck done here as well?
Yeah.
So the neck's almost ready to go.
100%. We can even, if you specify it, we will even do the fretwork and polish the frets and level and crown them, polish the frets and all that.
God.
It'll come sanded to 300 grit, ready for finish.
Wow.
And it just plops together. You put the hardware on, and you've got an absolutely perfect instrument. I mean, it goes through various stages. You can see that's still square. This is still attached to the,
Yeah, but you see, what I'm loving, as an aside, is that, okay, so that's what you can get from, that's made by a machine. What I've been fortunate enough to get is one that's been carved by you.
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
hand. And that's what astonished me, was the effort and the sweat and the time and the consideration that goes in. Otherwise, you can just program something up.
That's the thing. With CNCs is it gets the same result, but I'll be able to carve a neck. They will digitize it, and then you've got the same end result.
Yeah,
but you're not having to pay me for the time that it actually takes me to do it, but also the 20 years that I've spent learning how to do it by hand. And that's the thing. So while I personally love making things by hand and love the process and will always do it, from a point of view of getting guitars at a budget,
it's
into
not
people's
sustainable.
hands.
I absolutely get it. I totally.
We used to make kit guitars, and we used to make them by hand, and it nearly bankrupted me again.
Well, how many kits go out then? You said a bit of a boom in the last few months.
We're not even a boom in the last few months. We do something like 30 to 50 a month normally, and then through COVID, double, triple that.
Wow!
And again, we can absolutely just, we're going to be quadrupling the range or more just of what we offer. There's a new bass kit on the site now for people to order. And then various different options. So
bloody hell.
Essentially, we tried. The whole thing is about making it as easy as possible for people to get into making. You came here because you bought a guitar, but you want to build a guitar as well, and that's the same for most people. It's an ambition for most people who are interested in guitars. You're already creative. You're a musician.
You're so flattering. You
are. You're here to buy a guitar. You're a musician. But creative types will immediately, when they realize that you can build a guitar. I remember when I realized that this thing that I loved was something that was made by somebody. I was like, holy if somebody made this, I can make this. And here we are. Anyway, let's have a look at the machine shop.
Oh, I say.
I nearly shut the door on the camera. So yeah, basically, these rooms here have just been built.
Yeah.
We're still in the process of fitting various dust extraction bits, etc. This is metalwork.
This is where you make your weighted hammers.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
So somebody sits here and makes these. And so this is it. It's very much in progress. There's the lead shot for them.
I love it, love it. So a bit of metal work there.
Okay, and then this one here is going to be, or is, so sanding station. We've just bought 2 sort of 60 or 70-year-old new spindle sanders. Beautiful. You just can't beat the old manufacturing. But essentially, sanding station, and what it's going to end up doing is keeping the dust away from
This area.
From this area, and
yeah.
yeah. But dust extraction is the big thing. So again, it's in progress. We're rebuilding all of that. Now here are the much vaunted CNC machines.
So this is it. This is where
This is one of them.
It's basically just a computerized router.
Exactly. That's it. Honestly, so I can train in half a day. I can train somebody how to use a router properly.
Yeah.
And they can sit there and they can make all day guitar bodies and just do them. And it takes little skill.
So does the
we do use
contouring
this.
come with the same bit?
Yeah.
In the thing?
Oh, so it depends on what you're doing. That's a flat bit on there, but yeah, you'll use a bullnose bit.
Okay.
And it'll do the contouring.
God,
And you can put drill bits in as well, etc.
that's amazing.
So yeah, we have 3 of these from Stony CNC. We've got another one coming. And it's just going to boost production, really. But
Bloody hell.
essentially what it's doing is it's taking a relatively low-skilled job that takes time
Yeah.
and putting it, one person can sit and operate these things and have all of them going and produce a lot more, which reduces our costs, which means instead of having to charge £3,000 or £4,000, £5,000 for a handmade guitar,
Yeah.
we can sell it for £2,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's all cool. That's a fairly big one. There's a tiny baby over in the corner there, and that's a tiny CNC machine.
Wow.
So yeah, we use that for engraving and stuff. But in the end, there's a huge amount of handwork involved.
Yeah, which is it's got to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
without that, you lose the individuality. Something is just banged out. It's not the same. Like,
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go back through this way because
Okay.
I always think it's cool seeing the students' room from that end. It's looking gorgeous. Wear a face mask.
these-
Okay.
Oh my word! This is even bigger. This is enormous. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stations, 11, maybe 12 stations.
It's 12 stations at capacity. We don't really want more than 10 people in at the moment, even though the benches are even 9. Okay, well, there we
under
go.
current regulations.
With the current regulations. So we moved the benches further apart than they used to be.
Yeah.
We had 14 benches in at one point, but we're just not comfortable.
No.
We're being as
Okay.
careful as the school's only been open for, this is week 3 now.
Oh, what, since March?
Yeah. Yeah, we were shut down entirely for 6 months.
God, I didn't realise. That was it. Bang, gone.
Yeah. So we were averaging sort of between 8 and 12 students a week pre-COVID, and then it just we had to send people home, and a bunch of them were in Greece and Germany, and
They come all the way. And
they'd come and they had to go home. It was a dark time for the business, but it just needs must. So yeah, Tom here is the head luthier in charge. Furiously finishing guitar. We're not going to waste. That guitar's been picked up a bit later today, and so these gentlemen have been here for
All right.
4 and a bit days.
Oh wow. Students.
Students, crusty students. They've all had a real time getting here. 2 weeks quarantine for the most part, and just nightmares. But everything that you see on these benches has been achieved within 4 and a bit days.
This is where the proof of what you said earlier on.
Absolutely. So this is going to be utterly gorgeous. The neck is being worked on next door. I'm doing my best not to touch anything that Emily's working on. Yeah. How's it going?
Well, I took your advice on the...
I am so glad you... Isn't it just...
It is a whole different thing, yeah. Much more pleasant to the eye.
So did you cut the mother of pearl?
Yeah, no easy task, especially when bits start flying all over the place. Yesterday they all helped me look for the last piece that flew away.
My floor upstairs has this sort of mica stuff built into it. You drop a piece of mother of pearl, there is no chance of seeing it.
Oh,
It's just disappeared.
Do you need a
After
new
2
floor?
minutes, I was ready to give up the idea of finding it again.
Is that based on on an origami bird?
Exactly.
It's like one of the flapping stork.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's lovely. Recognise that.
Yeah,
Very
cool.
nice. Very geometrical.
Thank you. Yeah,
No.
that makes it that much harder to have it come out well. I could see you can still see a lot
Don't
of
start
gaps in
picking.
between, but
Yeah,
it's-
Yeah, but the gaps are what, those are the faults, and it's more organic, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So your body is looking great.
My body is thin line Telecaster.
Bloody hell, it's hollow. Gar.
Slight variations. I have mahogany on the back
Wow.
and flint sycamore. Flint sycamore?
Yeah, flint sycamore.
As a top.
Wow.
And yeah.
And you cut that on the CNC, is that?
No,
No.
no, this is all handmade.
You made this by hand.
The students do not use the CNC machines, period.
No.
This is all handwork, routers.
Can you see the shock I've got?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not using CNC.
Holy.
It is quite present.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Those inlays are stunning. Okay, we'll end up on the bass.
I love
Come
that.
through.
Well done.
How's it going?
Look, he's smashing now.
Really well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And
This is an axe.
shape the body.
This is
This
an axe.
is the definition of.
No, not really.
No?
Not yet.
Oh, but it looks
Wait
like.
for it. So fan fret,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
and you've got the sort of veneer.
Yeah, black veneer, just to make it a bit. More.
It's just absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I just glued the matching headstock.
Yep.
If we can call it an headstock. Yeah, it's gluing.
It's a head nub, shall we
Yeah.
say?
Oh,
But,
right. Okay,
So
so
headless system.
Headless.
Headless. So.
These fan
you-
frets. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Now these guys are here for a 3-month course,
Yeah.
so they're here for a full, thing.
Yeah, I was going to say
But
that's not Billy Basic.
it isn't. But you could do one of these guitars in about 2 weeks, I would say,
Yeah, then after that,
if you really.
try playing it.
Fan frets are amazing.
Really?
Yeah, the whole point for fan frets is it's ergonomic. You don't actually notice that you're playing it. This isn't a bass where you've got a 4-inch
Okay.
sort of spread. One of these things, it fits where your wrist actually wants to go.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, once you've got over the
So
first
it's
2
the radius of the. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's the
yeah.
curve of where you're going. They are insanely comfortable and should be a lot more common, frankly.
So that's it. Your aim. Insanely comfortable.
Yeah,
That
go
is
for
the. That's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
My word. God.
That's looking good. I'm looking forward to seeing it done.
Wow.
So this is somewhat
It's a credit to
disappointing.
intuition that these things can be achieved.
How's it going?
Getting there.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
on to carving soon, or very shortly.
Ooh, are you doing that?
That's the plan. That was a very quick sketch, but as I mentioned before, I kind of wanted to go for something
Geometric.
using geometric shapes and something like going into a more natural pattern. And I've realised there's like an eye shape within the
Oh, I see.
fretboard already. So I haven't. This was under glue when I sketched that out.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone back to that yet. But I'm excited. I'm very excited because my inlay experience is nothing. So if I can get anything, I mean, the mother of pearl just works so well and will
Yeah.
stand out amazingly. Whether I do a very detailed, incredible job of inlay or not, it will still.
It will be
So-
awesome. It really will be.
Now this here.
That was less fun.
Yeah, it's been quite a challenge, but just doing a bit of routing and following Tom's advice, we made something work.
Yeah, it's one of those things we don't do neck and truss rods very often.
Yeah.
But
Well, actually,
it's cool,
yeah,
and that's the thing. It's cool. It makes the guitar a little bit stronger.
yeah, and it's a longer truss rod too.
Yeah.
I've got 27-inch scale. It kind of makes sense, I think, to do
Yeah.
that given the option. Yeah, and then got to work out this cap and all sorts of things to fly around. The body, I did a little bit more fine shaping.
A good joint there.
Afternoon, and yeah, I mean, Dan keeps pressuring me, and I don't fault him for it because it was the type of thing where I don't want those bumps or anything.
The trick with the sanders is to always keep moving.
Yeah.
Just it's like when you're painting. You paint the wall, you go, and then you've got the brush mark. You sort of hit it and go off, and then you should be okay. But it takes a little while to get the motion, as it were.
Yeah. So I mean, I found some curves just naturally lend themselves more easily to the different shapes on the different spindle sanders, but some are more difficult and a bit more, and especially this shape being so, I don't know. There's nothing to follow. I don't know any templates or any ideas, and it's all just straight out of my head. So to make it feel right, look right, it's a lot of adjustment and messing around, but it's getting there.
Well, the trick is we actually design our production guitars entirely around the diameter of the spindle sanders.
Yeah, that makes perfect.
Will the wheel fit in there? Is it easy?
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it's sensible.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's going to be cool.
we're only reaching the end of week 1, and all of us are talking about build 2. So staying focused on this is important. But,
You'll get there.
So you haven't been put off, no? You've been encouraged. Bloody hell.
Well, you've got another 2 or maybe 3 guitars to do.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. Okay, now,
Oh, wow.
how much will you sell this to me for? Because that is stunning.
Well, just finished this 1 hour ago, maybe.
Ooh.
And
They're like
quite
individual
proud of,
pictures.
It is pure art.
This, well, I couldn't just let it go. This piece of wood was calling for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, this is very, very well done. Now, to do a geometric shape like this, wood in wood, and have it turn out this well, is a credit. You are,
Well,
very, very well
This is
done.
going to be my 5th, so
Well, you know what you're doing then.
I'll experience slowly getting there.
Lovely.
So it's going to be great. Some carving today for that, and some relative.
Are you left-handed?
Right-handed. Right-handed.
You're right-handed.
But the headstock
The
is
headstock's,
reversed.
yeah.
Duh. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah.
You're looking at it from the other side anyway.
Yeah.
Get some tension on that
Yeah.
string.
Yes. My word, I just love them.
It's great, isn't it?
Each one is a landscape,
Yeah, it's incredible.
sky.
Yeah,
Got another top of this.
to play with.
Well,
For the next build?
not during the course probably,
Okay.
but well, I've got so much ideas. So
That's the thing.
I'll try to make different things.
Yeah.
Do you have to restrain yourself from imposing? Because when somebody has their own
Oh,
style,
no.
because you could. Oh no, you want
That's,
balance between letting people do their own thing.
There's some of that. So, for example, with the origami bird over there, it was yesterday. It was going to be wood yesterday, but I said, look, seriously, mother of pearl's a little bit harder to use, but the difference in
The contrast with
it would just
that
look
fretboard.
so much better. But also the way you have the different pieces hit the light a different way, and you can see the folds. Whereas wood, it would just be a little bit boring, a little disappointing. So if I see something like that, yes. But if somebody wants to do something, if you wanted to do maple inlays inside of maple, I mean, it's not actually that great. But if you want to do it, you want to do it. We'll help the students achieve what they want to achieve. But that is
very aesthetically pleasing. Very nice. Really nice.
Well, this is
Well, it's
various templates and bits and pieces and all sorts of other stuff going on. Dan's another teacher in there. And work in progress. And then here is
All the bandsaws.
students' machine room, yeah.
this is the finger losing area.
No.
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 No, we haven't had any accidents, which is good. But yeah, it's all set up, and then back through there is the main factory floor that we were in.
Guys, well, you got a lot more here than I expected. I didn't know what to expect.
This is
to be
this is
honest.
the thing. It's because there's so many different facets of the business, and it's just worked out this way.
It's great.
World domination.
Well, it's just the fact you're wanting to share your skill, share your knowledge.
Well, and that's the thing. So from a business point of view, I'm not selling huge amounts of guitars, but we're selling huge amounts of courses and kits and tools because I'm teaching.
Yeah.
If I hadn't started teaching, I'd still be in a shed at home. I'd be making maybe a dozen guitars a year.
Making a living, but only in the one angle. And now you're meeting people, and that helps keep you sociable.
Yeah, social. And here is...
the brains of the operation.
I was going to say C-suite, but we don't really...
Oh, yeah.
So, the various instruments in progress. Oh, not in progress. Done.
Well, I've seen some of these are recognisable.
So...
Yeah, there's a lot more here than I was saying. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what didn't have any preconceptions. But there's a lot more here than it's like a sort of a the TARDIS. You got the door at the front, and then and another thing opens up.
On and on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Life is very interesting. And here, so there's also huge amounts of storage space and all that jazz.
No, this is your spot then.
And
this is daylight lights. Got it.
So this is my studio, and
this is home.
Yeah. Now I haven't actually made anything in here since March. So I've taken a lot of the tools home, and I'm going to be spreading my time between home and here.
Uh-huh.
It turns out that I build a lot faster and a lot more efficiently when I don't have the distractions of the business.
Well, that makes sense.
So I'll come in here for a couple of meetings a week, and I'm going to be filming some basic tutorials and stuff in here. We're moving the demo area, and the photographic studios and all that jazz is going to be in here as well.
Yeah, I love that.
The wall of
wood.
Yeah, errors.
Oh.
Some errors, some prototypes failed. Just stuff that just wasn't of use. But we thought we'd make some art.
Glue them together, make a guitar, and call it the wrong one.
Done. But
oh wow,
this here is your guitar.
Well, look at that in real life. It's just magnificent, isn't it? It just looks even better in real life. Doesn't come across on the video.
This is the one thing. A lot of the videos, you just don't get it, and we hear that comment a lot about the guitars. You can't. The experience isn't 100%.
No, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? No, it's really, really, really. No, you see, and the other thing is all your little. This is all like the hand.
That gave me RSI.
Repetitive stress syndrome. I can believe it. It's just beautifully done. And that's the other thing, because it's all by hand.
I went in after the video and I spurted more glue in around the various edges and stuff, just to fit it in and make sure that it was absolutely as solid as possible. None of the black is coming off on you because it's all been shellacked, but you've got raw aluminium here.
Yeah.
And that does. So we need to put some wax on that basically, or something. Now we had various people saying that was a bit too bright and they thought that we should darken that down.
What, the aluminium?
Yeah. That's up to you. We can leave that as is if you want.
Well, it reflects the mother of pearl to my eye.
I think it all works quite well. Okay, well in that case, I'm just going to get some Renaissance wax and put some wax on there. And if you find yourself getting dark, it's just a case of putting a bit of wax on there.
No problem. No, that's no problem. No, just, so you're hammering this bit in and all of that.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
You made it look easy.
No.
Just bent it by eye.
No. The editor made it look easy. Thank you, editor.
It's how it holds together.
Well, you just held up. Pick her up.
Oh, God.
She's yours. You don't have to play if you don't want to.
Just look at that.
So, yeah, Bob was solid.
There's nothing here. It's hollow. Yeah, it's stunning, isn't it? Just bloody stunning.
Do you like the feel of the neck? Because there's no finish on there.
It's smooth and lovely. If there's a thing on it, sometimes it's a bit sticky.
Yeah.
You know, if there's, I shouldn't say, but with sweaty hands,
Yeah, it'll develop its own pattern over as you play it, and that won't be. It just does what it does.
Oh my word! Look at that. My friend Stu was saying maybe he was going, it was like the contrast when you suddenly got the blackout. He was concerned.
Yes.
But you can still see it's not as black as it.
Well, that was the thing. That's why I came back and I stripped it down that last time. It needed a bit more.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's lovely. It's so light.
Okay, now that's a very, very good thing. We need to weigh this. The amount of people that have asked, and I haven't even found it out. Okay, so we're at 3.05 kilograms. 6 pounds.
Yeah, 6 and a bit.
6 pounds, 12 ounces. I could not have worked that out in my head if I'd tried. There you go, everybody. You want to know the weight?
This isn't going in a box.
Good.
And it's not, it's not just that, and it's going to be played.
That is exactly what I want.
And when things go normal, it might even feature as a pub gig.
Go for it. This is the whole thing. I don't want things to go in a safe or hang on a wall or, and that's just it. And some of the guitars that I've made that we keep here for shows, they don't get played enough, and it's a pity.
No, they should be played.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a few. Well, I mean, I know there's a role for some iconic things, stick them in a box, museum and that sort of thing, but no, the ones I've got, badly played.
Well, you have to send us some, at the very least, some photos of it in a pub gig.
When it all goes normal, I will do that.
Please,
I will do
seriously,
that.
please do.
Yeah, show it in use. What do we go? What the bloody hell's that?
Awesome is what it is.
It's
No, I'm not allowed to say that. I built it.
No, no, it is. I can say it, man. It's awesome. It is.
But look, so seriously, let me know how it goes, how it moves. My thought was that that's a very small glue joint there, and that I might have to put a couple of a plate across here and a plate across there and a couple of bolts just to hold it to that and over there. It hasn't proved to be necessary. She's holding tune, absolutely fine, and it's all doing exactly what a normal guitar would do. These three here are essentially the strength of the guitar. You might struggle with sort of catching the corners on a jacket or something like that.
No, I get that.
And that could be a problem. But like I said, I went through and I've filled with loads of that epoxy. And it's just as solid as it can be, basically.
But the basic bond is between that and this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just glue.
And it's just glue. I mean, modern glues are amazing things. They spend a lot of time and energy and technology doing it.
Astonishing.
So,
thank you very much.
I thought
unexpected bonus.
I thought that you could do with a few bits and pieces.
Oh,
so
my word.
Clean and restorative. I know you have other guitars, so look after your fretboards.
I will do.
And a set of fret rubbers. So again, these are the sort of things that if your frets are a little bit dull, etc., just go over them.
Fantastic.
And
no, that's really kind of you. No, I thought, come along, say hello, pick up the axe, drive off. But no, been shown around, seen everything, learned a lot.
We really appreciate what you did.
Well,
we really appreciate it.
Anything. I just put a bid on that I didn't think would win, to be honest. I just really didn't think.
We're glad that it's gone to somebody who is actually going to play it.
Oh,
for
definitely.
One.
And my mate Stewie and others definitely all going to have a go of it.
Fantastic.
To be honest.
It's one of those things. Because the channel is so global, I don't often get to meet the people who buy the guitars that I personally make anymore.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Well, no, I like what you... It just no, it's a bit speechless actually. I think it's really, 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 really good.
Fantastic.
Delighted
Well, look,
with it.
I need to get the setup finished for you. Yeah, there you go. That's done it.
Lovely.
So it's
Simple
just,
as that. What, a
just a
quarter
fraction. Yeah, quarter turn on the truss rod. I've taken it down about a half a mil.
Gosh.
And that's how it would have been when I set it up for myself. From this point, if you want to raise it a little bit, you can do that on there.
No,
and you should have enough relief.
I'm very afraid of touching truss rods.
They take a lot. If you feel like you're pushing, stop. If there's movement, you're fine.
No, I'm delighted.
Fantastic.
Delighted.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Well,
Look at that. Can't say more. Speechless. Lovely.
this has been the perfect end to a build. Thank you very much.
No.
Everybody, the Great Guitar Build of 2020 is not over because the side competition went from an inkling of an idea to something with over 120 builders competing and more.
Really?
It's insane.
Ugh.
It was, so we set this competition up quickly and rapidly. Within a day of announcing this, somebody said, "Oh, can I build along?" And then somebody else came, "Oh, can I build along?" Oh, yeah, fine, okay, we'll do something. And now we are setting up a charity. So Great Guitar Build-Off will be a charity in its own right. Essentially to give people free courses down there. And a lot of people want to build a guitar, but they can't afford it. And a lot of people can maybe afford a course, but can't afford the bits to it's £300 or £400 just in parts for an average guitar nowadays.
Absolutely.
Accommodation is another thing. So we thought, why not set that up as a charity? We'll, as well as raise money for the charities that the YouTube builders choose, half of the money probably, we need to sort the rules out, will end up going to Great Guitar Build-Off and courses and stuff. But with the side channel, the side competition, hundreds of people are doing it. And it's huge. And it's amazing. So go and check that out. There's going to be more footage of that coming forward. But my entry into the Great Guitar Build-Off is finished in the most perfect way.
Oh,
I've actually met the person that has bought the guitar.
There's always a downside, isn't there?
This is no downside. This is, well, as I just said, I very rarely get to meet the people that actually end up with my guitars. Yeah. And the fact that you're going to play it and use it and love it just makes me even happier.
Well, I've never met a guy who's built a guitar that I have. So it's a quid pro quo.
Well, there we go.
Marvellous. Honestly, delighted, thrilled.
Well, that makes me happy.
Speechless.
We're done. Thank you very much for watching. Click like, subscribe. There's all sorts of other stuff going on. And watch this space because next year's competition is happening 100% and it's going to be awesome. So, yeah. Let's see well, next year I'm going to have to build something...
something complete.
Something a little bit less holy, yeah.
Somebody who laid every single bit of that by hand. I mean, not really something that comes every day, is it? No. Very, very nice.
Well, we're very, very, very glad that you're happy.
No, delighted. Absolutely delighted. Absolutely delighted.
And it was all for a good cause as well.
Yes, indeed. But I say that old joke, wish I could have had a whole guitar.
It's a holy guitar.